2025 could have been an immense year for Forex strategy games, but no, the greatest Forex strategy game series turned out to be not so great with Civilization 7. But fear not, ladies and gentlemen, because Amplitude Studios has stepped up to save the year with Endless Legend 2. It just entered early access, and yes, you can play it right now. I've checked out the preview builds previously, and recently I've got my hands on the early access version too. My impressions are very positive. It's not perfect and I'll explain why, but honestly that's expected, it's an early access game. Its ambitious and bold design usually means not everything clicks perfectly, at least on day one, but when it does, it works really well. Like Amplitude's other games, a story is one of the main pillars of the game. You might think Endless Legend 2 is a fantasy game, but no, this is a sci-fi in a fantasy disguise. Some of the factions are pulled from both the first Endless Legend and Endless Space 2. Yes, technically this game takes place after Endless Space 2. This time we are on the planet Sayada. It's an ocean world ravaged by storms and monsoons and these things called tidefall. When the water recedes, new land and resources are revealed, so it becomes a bit of a rush to claim them first. A comet is seen crashing into the planet, which may or may not be tied to an ancient god. The omens speak about its awakening, and you've got an intriguing story to keep you hooked. The game uses a quest system to further the story along. There are some quests related to your faction, you have the main story quests, and a bunch of other side quests you get for exploring the world. Unique factions are also a core part of an Amplitude Studio game. In Endless Legend 2, there are no standard cookie-cutter factions here, but if you're looking for a standard human faction, I suppose the Kin of Sheridan are the closest you're going to get. These are fortress-loving humans who are descendants from the United Empire in Endless Space 2. They are very defensive and perhaps militaristic. I guess that's what humans are known for. Then there's the Lost Lords, called the Broken Lords from the first Endless Legend. I'm really happy they chose to include them in the sequel. These are chivalrous knights, or at least the remains of knights trapped in armor, feeding on dust, which is like the gold in this universe, instead of food. You may think chivalrous knights are the good guys, but no, not at all. These guys are like vampiric death knights, draining the life force of other living things. There are 5 very unique factions that are strong in particular aspects of the game. What I like is there are no clear good guys because everyone has their own selfish motives. There is no clear good or evil, unless of course you're thinking about the Necrophage, a one city hive mind that spreads across the map with speed. All they do is kill and consume. These are like the Tyranids in the Endless universe, really. Their units are weak but fast. They can get to any of their nests around the map from the matriarch layer in a single turn. These fellas are all about hit and run tactics. This is the Swarm faction. There'll be a 6th faction as well when they release the game out of early access, but this is what you get. It's a good selection to play with in early access. So the factions aren't just different in terms of lore, but they play very differently with unique mechanics tied to them. And in particular, they are very different in terms of city building and expansion. You still have the classic FTSE system that Amplitude uses in all their games. That's food, industry, dust, science, and influence. But for some factions, there's a big twist for them. Like as I said, the Lost Lords don't even bother with food, so they survive purely on dust, as I mentioned. So they don't even see food on the map. The Tahooks, ancient religious lizards, make full use of science tiles to fully take advantage of their strengths. And a necrophage can expand quickly, but they are stuck with one matriarch layer. Although you could attach the other nests to this layer and exploit the surrounding lands. Expanding your cities feel closer to humankind. If you're familiar with that game, outposts or camps can be attached to cities or made into standalone cities. Each choice has trade-offs, influence costs, growth limits, etc. But you definitely want to attach to a city in the beginning, as you don't have much influence to go about to found new cities at first. Influence is a big resource for city development, as laying foundations, which you require before building a district on it, cause influence. And attaching a camp to a city cause influence. And founding a city cause a lot more influence. So if you're looking to expand quickly, you're going to need lots of influence. Combat is like a bit of a puzzle game, a small tactical bit, not like the lengthy and more numerous battles in, say, Age of Wonders 4. I really like the combat in this game. If you've played Humankind, you'll be familiar with it. Positioning and unit synergies are important. Battles are small and don't take up much of your time. After a while, sure, I was kinda auto-resolving them, but I did play the larger battles manually. Compared to other 4X games, factions may not have as many varied units, but how I'd like to think of it is like Endless Legend 2's armies are not wide, but they are tall or rather deep, however you want to think of it. They are also about upgrading units. Each unit has an upgrade path which lets you specialize and create stronger variants of that unit. Unlike Humankind, you have heroes in this game, obviously, yeah. And heroes come with abilities, items that you can use in battles, and you can level up their skills, making them stronger or more effective in whatever role you want them to take. Special mention, I like the skill system for heroes in Endless Legend 2. You can place a skill point to the abilities over here, or on these right sides they have attributes, and there is a direct correlation for many of the abilities or skills towards some attributes. So you want to add a skill point to an attribute that will supercharge your ability, not just dumping them all on abilities. This is a really neat idea. I like this a lot. So what do I like about Endless Legend 2, and why do I think this is peak 4X gaming? It's actually, first off, it's an easy game to get into. It is quite approachable. I dare say it is Amplitude's most approachable strategy game to date. The tutorial teaches you as you play the game, and mistakes, don't feel catastrophic. You don't feel like that's it, you can't continue playing, and it just flows better. If you're new to 4X games, especially these fantasy Endless Legend game, Endless Legend 2 definitely feels like a newbie friendly game. The same can't be said, about the first Endless Legend, which was quite challenging. Amplitude has kind of minimized the frustrating bits and focused on the more enjoyable aspects of the game. I think Tidefalls are a great addition, and also technically quite impressive how they managed to incorporate it, keeping the exploration phase relevant deep into mid-game. That's quite a feat, I must say, because Amplitude knows exploration is one of the most, if not the most fun element in a 4X game. It's actually a game where, you can say just one more turn. Actually, sadly, Civ kind of dropped that. And time flies without you even realizing. It's 3 AM. Yeah, it's that kind of a game. Factions are great too, like maybe a bit too neatly categorized into economic science or warmonger, at least to my taste. I have pretty high expectations for Amplitude Studios. But compared to other 4X games, it's way more interesting than what's on offer in other games. And visually, I gotta say, it's gorgeous. A lot of people say, oh, graphics don't matter and stuff like that, but I've seen a lot of proof and evidence in a lot of very popular games that or successful, I would say mainstream commercially successful games, that looks do matter to a certain extent. And I think Amplitude Studios never fails to deliver in the art department. And to top it off, I think it runs smooth even on modest setups. They've done a great job here to make the game look and run great. But it's also not a perfect game. So as I said in previous videos, the game perhaps can feel a bit too easy, lacks a challenge at times. I've mentioned this before. The first Endless Legend really felt more like a survival strategy game, with winter putting a huge dent on food. But in Endless Legend 2, they've kind of lost that. Also, while the Tidefalls may be a neat idea, I'm skeptical, I don't know how well the AI takes advantage of them. Honestly, I've never seen the AI on the Tidefall areas as much. Perhaps the AI is a little too passive currently. Replayability can also be a problem. The main quests change perspective with each faction just a bit, just in the way they are written, but they are still basically the same story. The way they designed it is, it makes it easier to fit in an additional faction, I suppose, perhaps for a DLC in the future, which for sure Amplitude is going to make plenty of them. They'll fit right into the story. It's easier that way. This is a narrative driven game, like you're eventually, going to lose the player engagement on the story. There are also some problems with the quests, specifically the main quest where you may proceed the story and get a character you have never met but you were supposed to, and they interact with you like you've known them. You could have missed early interactions with them, or things like that take away from the immersion of this world. And there's also small problems like UI. Amplitude loves their clean UI, so they like hiding certain numbers behind other screens. Like the city limit, why couldn't they just place this on the main game screen? Problems like this, stuff like OP factions, that's what I expect them to fix, and improve. It's an unfinished game, it's early access and a work in progress. Still a lot more polished than, say, other earlier access games. But you should definitely take this into account. It's not finished. So yeah, Endless Legend 2 isn't flawless, but it's a grand idea and it's already one of the strongest 4X games this year, or maybe in the last few years actually. But keep in mind, this is early access, so if you don't want to play the game and experience bugs and UI imperfections and broken quests, unbalanced factions, maybe hold off on the purchase. But if you're a fan and want to help make this an even grander game and provide your feedback while it's in early access, it's really a no-brainer. You probably already have it and you're playing it, I guess. Endless Legend 2 might be the one game I think I might continue playing for the long term. I might stream this on the channel. I know I've been hinting about doing a live stream for like ages. Haven't done it, maybe this time. But what about you? Are you playing Endless Legend 2 already, or are you waiting for the full release? Let me know in the comments. And speaking about another game I'm eagerly looking forward to, Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era recently hit a major milestone. I have a video here about that game that may interest you. Check out this video. Thanks for watching and farewell, noble friends.